investments. I think I might be first.
Yes, you are with Shedeur.
Exactly. When you invest and bet on yourself, when you have, I think it's called the Showtime clause in your contract, you just produce. Shedeur fucking Sanders. Like, let me just say this. The reason why I enjoy player following more than organization following is because it's a fucking story sometimes. I know organizations have stories, but when people have stories, you just know how to... It's just getting behind the story.
You're a wrestling fan, aren't you?
Yeah?
I could tell.
I used to.
No, you are.
But what? No.
Continue.
I stopped watching wrestling when I found out it was fake.
How old were you?
I was like... I think it was like 13, 14.
You couldn't tell before that?
I couldn't.
That's crazy.
So recently, preseason, not too many people watch the NFL preseason, but the reason why we're watching it is due to...
Those games be sold out.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. My ignorance. Meaning, at least I feel like it's... At least the preseason, from my football knowledge, has been more broadcast. And we had Shedeur Sanders, who's playing for the Browns organization, and on top of playing for the Browns organization, he was drafted in the fifth round to a 3-team quarterback. Four. Now 5.
They have 4 quarterbacks.
Now 5. They signed that. They recently signed that one dude.
What one dude? Oh yeah, I can't remember.
Anywho,
yeah.
My only point of bringing it up because I'm going to smush this down just in case you don't know what's going on. So pretty much. Shedeur Sanders had a great year at Colorado, draft stock failed, drafted by the Browns, and there was a lot of discrepancy during camp if he's actually, top tier quarterback, QB1, QB2. He's actually competing with the, fellow compatriot, and then he actually got the ability to start due to injuries. And a lot of people were thinking Shedeur was actually set up to fail. And when he came on that fucking field, he did what every good underdog black man story is. He persevered.
Is he allowed to qualify as an underdog?
Yeah. Hell yeah. To the machine, to the NFL. But no, I'm going to pause. Why are you going there?
Only because, you can't help who your parents are. But, he has been around certain football minds his entire life. He's went to some of the best schools in the country as a youth and has had ample resources to prepare himself for this moment. So I understand he went through the whole, which was probably collusion to have his stock fall, but I wouldn't say he's necessarily an underdog. When I think of underdogs, I'm thinking I don't know, fucking Brock Purdy or some shit. That ass though, being Mr. Irrelevant. Nobody gives a damn about you. You're not getting talked about at all, and then somehow you're able to spend that into $250 million on your contract.
So I think even the underdog story, there's a spectrum to it, and I think when you look at the Shedeur Sanders story, yeah,
and also people don't, for the most part, don't doubt whether or not he should be in the NFL. It's just, I think motherfuckers are trying to curb the other shit that unfortunately that just comes
the machine
what comes with him. Yeah,
but I think that to me where we kind of talk about the system, right? Because when you kind of look at the system as a black person, where it's kind of man, Shedeur, because of his family, has found ways to persevere. He's working with the greatest football minds, yada. But the NFL has always been that exclusionary club where you can only get so far. So having someone to actually personify the fight that we're having right now, being you're only supposed to be like this, you're supposed to only stay in that place. That's why to me I'm this is an underdog story, because you can, even though if we take away how he started, it's truly the battle that most black disenfranchised people go through. Man, these people are finding every which way to make sure that I don't win. Difficulty already on 10.
Mm-hmm. I'll let it rock, but
no. This is why I think it was in the circuit.
I'm gonna just say this, all right? And I get what you're alluding.
Say it.
I get what you're alluding to, right? But who's somebody recently, right? coming into the draft, Lamar Jackson was a Heisman winner, had an electrifying career at Louisville, right? His fight with why he slid in the draft is not the same fight that Shedeur is fighting.
I agree.
Two completely different things.
I agree.
And Lamar's is closer to what has been the plight of black quarterbacks, to them saying like, "Oh, you need to switch positions. Do you have the mental acumen to process information and read defenses? You know, this, that, and third. Why does he wear his hair this way? Why does he talk like this way? Why is he wearing grills? You know, X, Y, Z. Asking shit about the background and, you know, the upbringing of different people. Whereas with Shedeur is, I mean, it's still some of that good old boy type of policing, but it just is a different tone and connotation to it, to me, slightly.
Okay, I take it as this, where it's kind of like the trauma Olympics. Nobody wins. Like, you're always going to find a story that's more, where it's kind of like, I'm not going to push back too much on that with the Lamar Jackson piece. And I can actually see that too. And I actually, to be honest with you, I do actually kind of remember them like questioning it, like his literacy. I actually do remember that. I think for me, when we kind of like in this day and age where like we're tied to like a lot of hope and like just wanting like something to rally behind, it's almost kind of like the recency bias, where it's kind of like, I don't doubt people don't remember or think about Lamar Jackson. It's just because the Shedeur thing is so blatant and it's in our face like right now.
And I think his shit is more so, this is the first time I damn near won't say ever, but you know, in recent memory, that they've had a black athlete at that position come to the league and really realistically be able to say, I don't need this.
Yes. So you have a football eye. My question is,
starter, not star.
Really?
I don't think he's a star. I think
How
he's
so?
a starter. I just don't think he's a star.
No. So okay, what's the difference between starter and star? Where like I'm assuming the star has like the it factor. So you don't think he has the it factor?
Wait, say that again. Sorry.
You don't think he has the it factor, because the difference between star and starter, I'm assuming, has to be like that pizzazz, that it.
With what you're saying, I'm receiving it as like charismatic shit. But I'm assuming that's not what you mean. Really, the difference is, all right. So like, if you want me to do like a player comparison,
yeah.
I think it's much more likely he's Dak Prescott than he is Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes.
Okay.
And there's nothing wrong with being Dak or Baker Mayfield. You know, these guys are going to start 10 plus years, make a lot of money, win a lot of games.
So would you qualify Jalen Hurts as a starter?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
And Jalen's weird because I think he does sometimes receive a little bit too much, I won't say critique, but it's kind of one of those things, kind of like a Brock Purdy. If I take away all these different like shiny toys from around you, would this offense still look the same just on your back, as opposed to you having a all-pro wide receiver on one end, probably the best number 2 in the league, the best running back in the league, top 5 tight end, and
you mad at me because that's what's
and Hall of Famers across the O-line, and then a defense that's top 10 in the league.
Hey man, I'm just doing my job.
Yeah. No, it's not, but then I look at other quarterbacks who are asked to do more with less.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and I think
like Pat had me, you, and RJ playing wide receiver this year.
Hey, I'm catching one of
what?
Pat Mahomes throws me the ball, I'm gonna catch a ball. Are you talking about Patrick Mahomes? Yeah.
That was crazy wording. Continue.
Now, the reason why I brought up Jalen is because, and you have to correct me if I'm wrong, I think Shedeur was doing this with less. And when I mean less, he was doing it with the second and third string teams, right?
Yes. So for the most part, their second string players on offense were playing because they had a lot of injuries on the offensive side of the ball. Not to take anything away from it, they were playing. Yeah. They were playing the Carolina Panthers, who are still trying to spin stuff around.
So post
Cam Newton, but he looked pretty good though, especially like in the red zone. He threaded the needle on one. I want to say it was a crossing route to like the left end of the end zone, and he had maybe like 3 feet. If it had been off by a yard, that would have been an interception going the other way. So I like the confidence. It was a little ballsy, but you gotta be aggressive.
So you're actually the perfect person I want to ask this. Like, in like a different reality, different universe. Hell, you might even do this now in this reality. I can see you being like a player agent, like the Rich Paul. Like
that was actually like growing up. That was the first job I ever wanted to have.
Swear,
yeah.
I could just how you carry yourself and how you talk about things. I can see you in the meetings arguing for a Micah Parsons contract.
Oh shit!
I can see you doing that shit. Like, Jerry, God damn it, this shit ain't working.
Yeah.
But my question, what I kind of want to ask you is, when it comes to Shedeur, when it comes to his brand, his swag, what do you think he should be doing when it comes to the Brown season, the Brown season, how he started? Like, how should he take this momentum into the season?
Always be yourself. I wouldn't compromise who I am as a person in this situation, but he needs to be making as minimal noise as possible. Because truthfully, anytime you step on the field or do anything in professional sports, you're not just playing for your team, you're auditioning for any other team that may want to sign you or trade for you. So how he carries himself like this next year is going to be very critical, because like say a team like the Rams, they get to say week 4, Matthew Stafford still is in the back and Jimmy G is hurt, or dealing with some nagging injuries, be able to play through it. They may fuck around and say, hey, you went in the 5th round this past draft, we want to hit the Browns, you guys want a 4th rounder for him? So, I would, just keep my head down, keep working hard in camp, continue to ingratiate yourself amongst your teammates. He seems pretty well like to run the locker room.
He does.
And yeah, just stay out of trouble for the most part.
My last point, at least with this, at least just bringing it up, is I thought afterwards, besides just like the basic press conference things of that manner, I think him going to that one reporter and be like, oh, you don't talk, I think it was just too soon.
See, the thing that saves him, it's almost like a Magic Johnson effect. He has a pause, but he has a very he has a very nice smile that like kind of like
what?
If I say pause, come on, G. But you see, you fucking up the clip right now. But he has a nice smile that like kind of brings a room together in a sense. And is very charismatic. So I like to say like, yeah, hold up, come here. Yeah, motherfucker, you talking about my goddamn shit, huh? But then the smile softens the blow a little bit, and that's why they were able to let I'm shooting shit with you, but like I'm serious. Like,
cut that shit out,
cut it down. Now if he were a little bit more stoic, like now Dak wouldn't do this, but say if he had like the demeanor of a Dak, and then Dak was pressing somebody like that, yeah, it might be received a little different. Or even though Lamar can be funny, I think if Lamar were to do that, it probably wouldn't be received the same way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but he speaks pretty well. And yeah, he's always laughing and shit and smiling. So,
hey, young king, rumble. Hey, hell, if you even see this, man, keep doing that shit. I'll just say, I got the highlights, but I was like, keep sticking it to him, man.
Balls. Yeah. Anyways,